Um, Thank you to CGI team, whole team for organizing this wonderful evening. First of all, I start with a humble disclaimer. I do not have the adhikara to speak about Bhagavad Gita. I am only a teeny humble student on this journey of Sanatana Dharma, and I am only learning. And in this talk, if I make any mistakes, please forgive me. I am only learning. Okay, so I'll start with two verses of the Dhyana Shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, which we always recite the Dhyana Shloka before we do the Adhyana of Bhagavad Gita. So I'll recite these two verses and then I'll go ahead. Okay. Sarvopanishado gavo dogda gopalanandanaha parto vatsas sudhir bhoksha dugdam gitamratam mahat prapanna parijataya Totra Vitraikapanai Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamritaduhe Namaha. So we have already learnt from Acharya ji that in these shlokas it is said that if you take the Vedas as the magical amazing forest, the Upanishads are like these divine cows grazing in this forest, and Bhagavan Krishna is the cowherd who is the divine cowherd who is milking these Upanishads, and he is getting the nectar of this milk of Bhagavad Gita, and he is feeding this little calf Arjuna. We are also the little calf Arjuna. We are also learning from the Bhagavad Gita, so he is in turn feeding it to all of us. So we are saying to that kind of Krishna, we are doing our salutations. We are doing our salutations to Bhagavan Krishna who holds the whip in his hand. Yeah. To that Bhagavan Krishna who is the representation of the Chin Mudra, to that Bhagavan Krishna, we are doing our Namana. So before I take it on the context of healthcare, I will do a bit of, the preamble. For instance, you have a preamble setting. So if we look at our, if we look at the motto of Bharat, if you look at our under our emblem, you see the motto of Bharat. It is Satyameva Jayate. It is from the Mundaka Upanishad, and it means truth alone triumphs. Truth alone wins. So how does truth win? Truth wins when something is done on the path of dharma. Yeah, whenever we follow the path of dharma, then we reach truth. Then alone truth prevails. Yeah, then alone truth triumphs. So the mission of Bharat becomes establishing dharma. Dharma not in the sense mistakenly which is taken as religion. No. Dharma, there is no exact word in English for dharma because it's a Sanskrit word, it's ancient. This contemporary language will not have an exact word for it. Yeah, so we can just give a closer meaning to it. You can, in simplistic term, I can just say it is doing the right thing at the right time, at the right place, for the right reason. So, in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagavad Gita starts, Dhritarashtra starts by asking, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavascheva Kima Kurvatu Sanjaya. Let's take only these two words, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, and let's split these two words, Dharma Kshetra, Kuru Kshetra. Now you have four words. Let us rearrange these four words. If we rearrange it, let us rearrange it this way, as Kshetre Kshetre Dharma Kuru. So in each and every field, in each and every walk of life, follow the path of dharma. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. So now coming on to the context of taking it in the healthcare. So this, as I said, this is my learning. I'm just going to share a few of my thoughts. So some of it might be light-hearted. Please take it that way. Yeah. In the first chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, where Arjuna is completely depressed. So he was given up his weapons and he's sitting on the chariot and he's saying to Krishna, I don't want to fight this war, and he'll give him a big explanation as to why he doesn't want to do it. At the end of the first chapter, he's almost suicidal. He's saying, giving up his weapon, sitting there, he's saying, let the Kauravas who with their weapons, let them come and kill me. So he's kind of suicidal. So to this depressed patient, the great supreme psychiatrist, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, so we have the whole of Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas, and he gives this knowledge. So when we do the Bhagavad Gita Abhyasa, and then when we recite it, if you recite it continuously, you can finish it almost in 2.5 hours, correct? Elders would be able to say yes, yeah. In 2.5 2.5 hours you can recite the whole of Bhagavad Gita, you can sing it. So it's like a 2.5 years, 2.5 hour nice counseling session for this depressed Arjuna. And at the end of it, Krishna, he stops, he asks a question, and then after that he doesn't talk. He asks Arjuna, so I have spoken to you so far, so is your mind clear now? Are you able to, have you figured out what I have been trying to tell you? So Arjuna says, yes, my mind is clear, all my confusion is gone away, now I will listen to you and I will do what you ask me to do. And he's ready to fight. He does fight the war and then wins the war, yeah? So this great depressed person, at the end of this, just one, not multiple counseling sessions, one counseling session is ready. He's sorted, yeah? So this is reflecting as a, see, like I would say, so Bhagavad Gita is like one big, it's all about healthcare. Of course, it is about many other things as well, but I'm just putting it in the context of healthcare. So it's like Bhagavan Shri Krishna being a psychiatrist to this person who is depressed, and even for us, if you are burdened down with lots of struggles in life, we get answers to it, yeah, if you read the Bhagavad Gita. And if you, as you go on, so in this 2.5 hour discourse, in this 700 shlokas, there are lots of concepts that he touches on. So he talks about, there are some beautiful concepts that are introduced. There is something called stitiksha, forbearance. You will come across that in second chapter. So forbearance is the ability to be able to stay stabilized, stay in the calm composure, no matter what is thrown at you. That's what Bhagavan Shri Krishna teaches there. And Arjuna also, and then Bhagavan Shri Krishna talks about a stita prajna, a person with state of equilibrium mind, who is not disturbed by anything, who is balanced. So Arjuna asks him, so stita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava stita dikkhim pravasheta kimaseta vrajeta kim. So he asks him, how does a person of stita prajna, how does he do, how does he meditate, how does he sit, how does he walk, how does he talk? So in the next few shlokas he explains how a person of balanced attitude will present himself, how he is. Yeah, so that's, and then going on next further, he says after you have been a balanced person, Shri Krishna goes on to explain in the Karma Yoga, he explains how you deliver your actions. As it says there, Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbu mate sangotsva karmani. Yeah, being detached from your action, fruits of the actions, you will deliver your actions to the best of your ability. So this is a good learning, something to reflect upon every day for us doctors when you go to work. Yeah, we do our work and leave the results to Bhagwan finally, to the higher powers to sort out. Yeah, and then as you go further, Bhagwan is giving the reassurance. This famous 2 shlokas that we all know, having grown up watching Mahabharata in Doordarshan. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata vyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He says, I will be with you, I will come for you in every yuga. So he's giving us that reassurance. And as he moves on further in the Dhyana Yoga, he is giving us how we should be. Like how you keep your physical health, how you should sit, how you should breathe, how you meditate. In that chapter, in the 6th chapter, he gives us this beautiful concept about the moderation. That's what we doctors tell all our patients, isn't it? Do everything in moderation. Yeah, sleep in moderation, eat in moderation, activity in moderation, everything in moderation. So this shloka where he says, Yukta hara viharasya, yukta karmasu chestasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. So he gives us this concept of moderation. And then again in the Dhyana Shloka he's also saying your mind is your enemy and your mind is your friend. So work on your mind, be able to control that mind. Yeah? And further on, lots of wonderful concepts are given as we go on. Starting from the 7th chapter, it's all about a lot of Bhakti Yoga, isn't it? And from 7th to 12th chapter, he is reiterating, particularly in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, he gives loads of examples where he is highlighting to us how he is present in lots of aspects, every aspect in the cosmos, making us realize that there is divinity everywhere. So we live in harmony with everything around us. A wonderful example who lived that way in Bharat, whom we have sadly lost today, is Salumarada Timmaka. She left this mortal remains today. So I pay homage to her and pray for Prapti of Sadgati, for that Atma which has left us. She was 114 years and she has planted around 8,000 trees and looked after them like her own children. So this is one of the example of person who works like this, yeah, who recognized that there is divinity everywhere and lived in harmony with the cosmos. And coming on to, so when Bhagavan Shri Krishna is giving this knowledge, so it becomes very monotonous. So there must be, in our Hollywood movies, there should be some action, right? So Bhagavan gives this Virata Rupa Darshana, the magnificent form of himself. So there is a lot of light and lot of glory, and he presents himself in this magnificent way. Sanjaya is saying how Bhagavan looks. He describes him with this one shloka where he says, Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yuga Paditita Yadi Bhasadrishi Sasya Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. So how Bhagavan Krishna looks is, he looks as if thousands of suns have risen from the horizon of the sky at the same time, and that is the brilliance and warmth you feel from his Virata Rupa Darshana. Given the weather, if we contemplate of him and think about him like that, we will definitely feel the warmth in our heart and we'll start to feel warm. So that's about the 11th chapter, and then 12th chapter is all about Bhakti Yoga, bringing the keeping that innocent child in us alive, keeping that innocence in us alive. Yeah, Bhakti Yoga makes you so innocent and keeps your health really good. If you're like a child, then you're so lively and curious, and then you'll definitely be healthy, right? So then coming on to, and when you come on to further on, the 16th chapter, he is giving us the differences between the Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, between the divine qualities and the not so nice qualities. Yeah, he is telling us to work to win over all these shed ripus, the 6 enemies that we have. Kama, Krodha, Lova, Mada, Matsarya, that one. And in the first 3 shlokas of the 16th chapter, he describes 28 divine qualities which we should work on. Going on to 17th chapter, again bringing in the healthcare concept, he becomes a gastroenterologist. Okay, he becomes a dietitian. He gives you knowledge about what is sattvic food. You will be saying, yes, you know very well about it. Sattvic food, and what is the Rajasic food and Tamasic food. And then he goes on to talk, then he becomes a ENT surgeon. He becomes a speech therapist. He tells you how your speech should be. He tells you about Manaprasada Saumyatvam, Satyam Priyahitaya Cha, and Anudvegakara Vakyam. That's how you should talk. Truth, the word which doesn't agitate anybody, which is soft. So he talks about how we should be talking. Yeah. And finally, towards the 18th chapter, he is summarizing. In the Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, he is summarizing everything. And towards the end, having given so much knowledge, he doesn't say you have to follow this my way or the highway. He doesn't say that. He says, Iti te gnanamakhyatam gushyat gushyataramaya vimrushaitada sheshena yathechasi tadakuru. Like, you know how mothers will, even dads also, they will say to their children, tell them, talk to them about everything, and finally they'll say, I have told you everything, now you do whatever you want to do.
Wow.
So exactly like that, Bhagavan Krishna is saying, I have given you all this deep knowledge, now you think about it, contemplate on it, and you decide what you want to do. Yeah. And towards the end, Sanjaya is saying, he's thinking about this Virata Rupa, and he's thinking about this wonderful conversations between Arjuna and Bhagavan Krishna, and then his heart is rejoicing. He's feeling a lot of energy and calm and amazingness at the same time. So it's an indication for us to go back to Gita again and again, reflect on it, and do the Adhyayana of Bhagavad Gita. Finally, Sanjaya ends the Bhagavad Gita with a shloka, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti, Dhruvani Tirmatirmama. He says, wherever Bhagavan Shri Krishna is, that is, wherever our learnings and teachings are there, wherever the blessings of Rishi Muni sages are there, wherever that learning is, and wherever we have a very disciplined student like Arjuna, like, not just Arjuna, it means if we dive into Bhagavad Gita like that, then he is certain that always there will be auspiciousness and victory in every path and every walk of life. And so that shloka ends with Mama. And we started right at the beginning, it started with Dharma. So take these 2 words, Mama, Dharma. So Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is Mama Dharma. So my brother has taught me this, okay, so I'm sharing this here. So Bhagavad Gita is mama dharma. It's my duty. How I do my duty. How I take my life forward in the path of dharma. So that's all I had to share. I will end my talk with two shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita. Those of you can also recite with me. Om Brahma Arpanam Brahma Havir Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina Ananyashchintayanto Mam Ye Jana Pariyupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Thank you. So, Om Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me.